What's up, guys? Welcome to our channel, Honest Hockey Takes. Today it is Fantasy Friday.
Yeah, it's that time of the week where we get to do something a little different for you guys. And today we got 3 players that we think you should target to try to trade for, and 3 players that we think you guys should trade away because they've been a little bit too hot right now. So we're going to start off on a positive note, and I'm going to go with a player that I think you guys should be targeting to trade for, and that is Jonathan Huberdeau from the Calgary Flames. So Jonathan Huberdeau has started this season very slowly. He's only gotten 2 goals, 6 assists, and 8 points in his first 13 games. He's also been struggling because a lot of Calgary in general has been struggling as a team. But I don't think there's any chance that this struggle continues for the whole season for Jonathan Huberdeau. This is a player who for the last 6 years has been a point per game player. He last year was second in points in the entire league. And it feels like people have honestly almost forgot that already because a lot of people seem to think that he's just like cooked and that he's not the same player now that he's in Calgary. But really, we all know it's just him taking some time to get used to his line mates, get used to his situation, and he's still going to be given all the opportunity in the world, guys. He's still going to get the power play time. He's still going to be the main primary driver of the offense and the number one playmaker on this team.
Yeah, like Scott alluded to, not every player can come to a new team and just go crazy because they got it takes time for them to get used to the city, to get used to his surroundings, like outside of hockey even, right? Everything is very different. Keep in mind, he came from Florida. Going from Florida to freaking Alberta is like going from going from like a vacation resort to like, I shouldn't say jail, but like to the Perrys.
Yeah, like it's crazy. And I just also the line mate difference, like he's not used to playing with some of these guys at all, their style. It's going to take some time.
Yep.
But by like game like 18, 19, 20, I bet we're going to start seeing a different Jonathan Huberdeau, one who puts up the same old point per game plus points, and he's going to be valuable to your team.
Yeah, and one more thing to add about Jonathan Huberdeau, he just signed a $10.5 million contract? Is it 10.5?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to, if they're paying that much money for this player, they're not going to use this player on the first power play unit, on the first line. So yeah.
There's no chance.
Yeah, no chance. He's a superstar in this league, and he's going to prove it. And my second player would be Jordan Kyrou from the St. Louis Blues. Man, he has a really cold start so far in this year. He's negative 15 is one of the things that really popped up to me out of all the stats, to be honest with you. But he had 75 points in 76 games last year.
75 and 74.
Oh, 74 games last year, and man, he's one of the fastest players on this team. And with how the NHL is today with the speed game,
it's all about speed.
It's all about speed. So I feel like he signed that big contract this offseason. I do not know why the team is not doing so hot, but they're starting to pick it up lately. But I hope he picks it up. I think he's a good buy low candidate here.
Seems like a guy who's going to go as the team goes, type of speak. And while St. Louis was struggling as a team, Kyrou's numbers were very down, and he has had a really rough start. But over the last 4 games now, he's back to that point per game pace, and the team has been winning again. They're kind of going on a heater, and they're more like the St. Louis Blues that both me and Hohen expected when we put them top 2 in this division. All right, and our third and final guy to try to trade for, we have Chris Letang from the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is a guy who for so many years we've all relied on as a solid top 10 defenseman in fantasy. The guy does it all. He hits, he blocks, he gets points. Like, what else could you ask for, honestly? But this year, he has come off to a really rough start. He has not been putting up the type of point production we've been used to, and he's just gotten 1 goal in the whole season. So he really hasn't added a lot offensively to your teams. He's still been getting his hits and blocks, however, which is nice. He is just under 2 hits and blocks a game, which is really nice. We all know those peripherals will add up for you in fantasy. And on top of that, I just think that there's no one on this team that has any chance to supplant him as the power play 1 quarterback, and that's a major factor for a defenseman in fantasy.
Yes, he's going to rack up a lot of points still. Like, he's going to be put into the main situations to put up points in, which is the power play 1. Letang is a fast skater. He still is a superstar in this league. The only problem is the only issue that you will have with Chris Letang is always going to be his injury issues because he sometimes can't stay healthy. But aside from that, if he can stay somewhat healthy this season, he's going to be close to at least a 50-60 point defenseman.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
right now he's not on pace for anything near 60 points. He's like more like in the 40s right now if you were to keep this pace up. So right now, if you tried to go out and trade for him, it's going to pay dividends for you for sure.
Yeah. And then going from positive news to not so positive news, well, we will say these are the sell high candidates, right? And the number one would definitely be Bo Horvat from the Vancouver Canucks. He has 14 goals so far in this season.
In 17 games.
In 17 games. Can you believe that?
I never would have imagined that if I didn't see it myself.
Yeah, I mean, like, Bo Horvat's a good player, but his career high has been like, what, 50, 60 point player? He's never been over a point per game player in his life. So I expect him to
no chance.
I definitely expect him to regress a little bit. And everyone knows, like, if he was the main guy, like how Burakovsky is right now on the Seattle Kraken, where he is the new number one guy on the team, then okay, then I get it. But he's not. There's Elias Pettersson. There is still JT Miller. There's still other players on this team that are still superstars ahead of him.
He's not going to drive his own line. And I mean, granted, in fantasy, you don't have to drive your own line. But I mean, we've had a really good sample size now from Bo Horvat over the last like 7-8 years. And we've seen what he can do and what he can't do. And what he hasn't been able to do, and the guy's like getting up there in age now, he's in the middle of his career, is he doesn't put up that huge point total every single year that you want.
Definitely expect him to kind of taper off. Like the shooting percentage that he has right now is not sustainable.
It's too damn high.
It's too damn high.
21% right now.
It's just not sustainable, and expect that to fall. And as of right now, I think it's a great time to sell high on him before it's too late.
Yeah, people are going to look at these 14 goals in 17 games, and that's going to sell itself for you.
Yeah.
So you could look to go get a player that's been more consistent over the last 2 or 3 years that you know is a safer bet and can pay dividends for fantasy purposes. My next sell high candidate is going to be Jamie Benn from the Dallas Stars. Now, this is a player at the beginning of this year, me and Hohen both hated on. We thought he was completely cooked and he didn't have much left in the tank. Well, right now, he has 17 points in 17 games to start the year, which is pretty wild to me because he is nowhere near that last year. Last year, he put up 46 points in 82 games. He played the full season and only put up 46 points. And the reason I'm here telling you guys it's unsustainable and to sell high now on Jamie Benn is because he's not getting the prime minutes you'd look for. This guy is currently playing on the third line of the Dallas Stars. And on the third line, he's playing with Wyatt Johnson, the rookie, and Ty Dellandrea, who is more like a checker-type player. It's not like he's playing with Rupe Hintz and guys like Jason Robertson. No, he's playing with like very mediocre players, not getting a ton of ice time compared to other players putting up those similar numbers. And right now, he is feeding way too much off that power play one. He's got that role to stand in front of the net or beside the net sometimes when Pavelski's there. And these guys like Heiskanen and Robertson and Hintz are making all these plays. And he has got 9 of his 17 points so far. So over half just on that power play, which is not a sustainable factor.
So how many goals does he have so far this season? Like 7?
7 goals.
7 goals? I remember 3 of those he got against the Edmonton Oilers. So that kind of like inflated his stats because Edmonton
Oilers,
team
that everyone's got a hat trick against.
Edmonton Oilers like an AHL team, but for defensively. So yeah, but anyways, it got inflated there. I hate Jamie Benn. I'm gonna say right now, I hate this player. This player, I remember that 1 year in fantasy hockey after that fresh out that year that he won the Hart Trophy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Is it the Hart Trophy?
Oh, you drafted him top 2 rounds?
I drafted him my first round pick, 9th overall pick.
Oh, you sucker.
This guy next year got me like 60 some points. Like I want to smack this guy in the head. He got me so upset. I was like, guys in like my 5th round was doing better than this guy. I was so mad. But anyways, no, this guy suck. You want to get rid of him. I hate him. Sorry.
Damn, dude. Tell me how you real feel. Did I bring up some PTSD moment for you or something?
Yeah.
Oh, well, sorry. I just had to tell these fine ladies and gentlemen that Jamie Benn was worth trading away.
Imagine drafting this guy with your 1st round pick and he plays like he's like a 5th round pick.
I can't help you're bad, bro. Like, what do you want? Like, it's just a you problem. But anyways, it's not sustainable for him currently playing on the third line to be a point per game player. And a lot of people are going to see these numbers and be interested. So try to trade him and sell him high as soon as possible.
So the next player I have on the sell high will be Brock Nelson from the New York Islanders. I really, really like this player. This is a big man, big size centerman who can hit, who can score a lot of goals. He had 37 goals last year. Very, very good hockey player. Currently, though, he is at a point per game pace, which is a little unsustainable in my mind. I just don't think Brock Nelson has proven, based on the sample size that he has proven in the last 5 years, that he is a point per game player. So I fully expect him to drop off in probably in the 20 to 30 game mark.
Yeah, I would agree with that. One thing I don't like to necessarily be attached to in fantasy too much, unless it's just some deep pick I got later in the round 10, 11, 12, is that I don't want to have too many players from the Islanders because I don't really think that their offense is very good. Like guys like Noah Dobson and Matt Barzal, I think can get you through a year fine because they just touch the puck so much. But guys that rely on scoring primarily, like Brock Nelson, if they're not getting their goals by the end of the year, they're probably not doing enough for you in fantasy to make it worth the time.
Yeah, we really like this player. Like I said, like personally, I like him more than Barzal on the team, just because I like his intangibles with his size that he can contribute to the team. I like Barzal's speed, but at the same time, I like the way that Brock Nelson can play on the boards in real life and protect the puck. I really like that about him, and the fact that he can snipe 30 goals a year, it's insane. But don't get me wrong, I really like this player. He's a very good player, but I feel like if someone in your fantasy league that really wants this player and he's willing to overpay for this player, I think you should definitely take the bait.
Yeah, don't just go sell this guy for nothing because obviously
Yeah.
he's still a decent player.
Yeah.
It's just you could probably get something a little better than the value you used to draft him in the first place. So yeah, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe below. And thank you once again for watching our video. Until next time, have a great day.
Bye.